So the box method, keep yourself organized, is when you actually make a little 2 by 2 box and you put one of your factors down one side and the other factor in the other side. It's called the box method. Does this seem familiar to you from Algebra 1? I like the FOIL method because I don't like writing this out every time. When you get to like pre-calculus or you're doing a lot of factoring, you don't want to have to write this out. You want to do a lot of it in your head. This helps students not make mistakes. Think of this as the area, length times width. How do you find area? You multiply your length times your width. So 2x times x is equal to how much? 2x squared goes in that first box. Then you multiply x times 1 to get this box. So x times 1 is just x. Then you multiply 2x times negative 2 down here. So you'd have negative 4x in that bottom left box. And then you would do the negative 2 times the 1 to get this last corner. So you end up with 4 terms inside your box. You need to combine any like terms that you see. Here there's these x's. So if you have 1 of something, this is really 1x here, and you have negative 4 of something, you can combine those like terms. So this is really equal to 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. So you just multiplied binomials using the box method. I want to show you FOIL because in the math world, people a lot of times will just say, do you know how to FOIL? And if they're not saying, do you know how to multiply binomials, you might miss what they're saying. So FOIL, F-O-I-L, stands for first, outer, inner, last. So it's basically doing the box method steps in your head. So first, I just want you to write this in your notes. Then you can use the box method all you want. But I just don't want you to miss ever having seen FOIL. So first, you take x times 2x, and that gives you 2x squared, which we already know. Then outer, you're taking this x times this positive 1. See how those are the outermost terms in your parentheses? That gave you the 1x. Then you take the inner 2 terms, these two, and you multiply them together. That's where your negative 4x came from. And then last, the last term and the last term gives you the negative 2 that you already got from the box method. And then your final solution again is 2x squared minus 3x minus 2. We get the same answer. A lot of people use FOIL. If you like writing out the box so you don't make mistakes, that's great. Whichever method you choose, I won't judge. I say FOIL a lot though, so just so you know what I'm referring to. So I'd like us to do one more together, and you need to choose. So if you're going to choose the box method, let's do the box method together. If you want to do the FOIL method, I'll put the FOIL method in a second, but you put 3x plus 1, 2x plus 4. It doesn't matter if you put the 2x plus 4 on the side and the 3x plus 1 across the top, but you have to keep the binomial together. So 2x plus 4 has to be on the side together. It can't scramble up your sides. Okay, what is 2x times 3x? 2 times 3, so 6x squared. What's 3x times 4? 12x's. What's 2x times 1? 2x's. And what's 4 times 1? 4. So that was the multiplying step. Make sure in your head you're not adding things. I've seen a lot of people go, oh, 4 plus 1 is 5. This is area. So you're multiplying length times width to get area. The only addition happens when you're kind of combining these like terms to get 14x. And I can't combine the x squared term because that's a different term. So I have 6x squared plus 14x plus 4 as my final answer. Does anyone want to see that one done out using FOIL? Or you think you're good with what the, huh? Oh, you did FOIL? So you just did in your head kind of skill. Turn to page 210. Try number 1 and 2 on your own, and then maybe hold off before you do 3 and 4. So page 210. See if you can do example 1 and 2 for practice for a minute on your own. This will be like a quiz question for next week. You need to multiply these binomials. And what does a binomial mean? Do it whichever way you want. Let's see if we can get the right answer. Doing it one of the ways. This is a practice. You're writing these 4 terms that are combined like this. So 6x squared goes first. Then you have 2 plus 12 here, plus 14x. And then just plus. Do you remember doing this from last? Yeah. All right, perfect. I know the box. Oh, box has a thing. I don't think the last term. You're saying times of the times. Because you did times every time. Yep. Because didn't you in your head do -6 plus 5 is -1? Okay. Try number whatever that number is. 2. Try number 2. Yes. I forgot if you were on like example 1 and 2 or example 3 and 4. This is absorbing a lot of your energy today. Am I cutting my hair? Here. So let's see, we got 3x squared. I'm going to do FOIL for the first one here. Then I would get outer would be -6x, inner would be +5x, and last would be -10. Or 3x squared minus x minus 10 for your final answer. So you should have these 4 numbers inside your box. So then that gives you that answer, right? Okay. So the next one I'll make the box for. So let's see, 4x plus 1, 2x plus 3. So 8x squared, 2x, 12x, and 3. Right. So 8x squared plus 14x plus 3. So 14x is right.
Oh, you're right.
Okay, so this now allows us to go between vertex and standard form, which we're going to learn standard form next week. Remember, this is vertex form because it shows you left or right, up or down. So, order of operations. What should I do first in this problem if I'm going to put it into standard form? So here's the big mistake in algebra. You are not allowed to distribute this squared symbol because of that plus sign. Because that would only give you x squared plus 4, right? If I distributed the squared symbol. You have to multiply this out using binomials first. So your first step, let's rewrite this problem as x plus 2 times x plus 2. And we're going to do the plus 5 at the end of this. So now go ahead and multiply that. Either use the box or use FOIL and tell me what you would get at this step. And then we're just going to add 5 at the end. So do your box or do your FOIL. I'm just going to do FOIL in a minute, but I'll give you a chance to try it first. Yep. And actually, this was a function. I should write my answer as y equals x squared. I get 2x, x is 4x, right? And then I get plus 9. All right, so let's see now, how is that different than number 4? This one had a plus 5 at the end. This one has a times 2 in front, so another mistake I don't want you to make. You're not allowed to distribute that 2. You have to do order of operations. You have to do FOIL first, then you can multiply it by 2. So I'm going to leave the 2 till the very end over here. My first step is I need to do the box method or FOIL and get what this multiplies out to. So you're going to do x minus 1 times x minus 1. Then at the end, we have to distribute this 2. Don't distribute the 2 first. Yeah. A negative times a negative is a positive. You're going to have a trinomial inside your parentheses, right? What do you get when you do your box? You get your x squared minus 2x plus 1. That whole thing now is going to get doubled. So you're going to multiply every single term by the 2. You're going to distribute the 2, 2x squared. So I'm going to take the 2 now, and I'm going to multiply by all 3 terms. 2x squared minus 4x plus 2. Because it was a plus 1, wasn't it? Does this feel familiar to you? Yeah. Like you did this in Algebra 1 sometime? You should have. Yeah, that's fine. But did you get to this step? Yeah, but did you get to this step? Did you write it out at the end of the box? Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. So then this is the end of the box method. You should get that as your answer to the box, right? So now I have a 2 that I have to distribute into that whole trinomial. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to skip 5 and 6 for now so that we can do it as a warm-up on Monday and turn back one page kind of for the last 5 minutes and see if you can write equations for those quadratics. Skip back one page. There's a graph of 6 quadratics. I was going to do the first one together. We're flipping back one page to the 209 that we have blank, this page. Write out a quadratic equation in vertex form for each. So let's do 1 and 2 together. Back one page. 209, back one page from where you were. Let's do 1 and 2 together. Can you describe in words what happened to graph number 1? Where did it get moved to? So it moved to the right. How do I take the quadratic and move it to the right? What do I put inside the parentheses with x? So this function is just y equals x minus 2 squared. Now, number 2 looks steeper than number 1, doesn't it? Because these are all quadratic functions. So it's an x squared, not an absolute value, not an x cubed. How is number 2 different than number 1 steepness? Is it more steep? Is it less steep? Okay, so this is the point you want to look for. When you go over 1, how tall is your graph? My graph is now a height of 2. Over here, when I went over 1 on 1, see how I only had a height of 1? So how do I write this equation if it's twice as steep in number 2? Y equals, no, it's twice as steep, 2 times as steep. You put the 2 in front of the x squared to show that it's 2 times as steep. Now you try the equations for 3 through 6, and I can kind of show you the answers before or after lunch. So talk in your head, what happened to my equation? I shifted up, down, left, or right. I'm steeper or less steep, and did I flip upside down?
Oh, wait. So I do y equals x minus 2x. Come down or
So the original function is x squared. What's happening to the x squared? So where do I put the lower part? After that. So it's x squared. Now after that, and you should check that the steepness is 1. See understand that one was steeper. That one's still the original. That was right.
Yeah.
See, over 1 up 2 and over 2 up 8. So it's twice as steep.
I think my question is
Oh, that's 1/4 is steep. Yeah, so it's going to look like this. So over 1 is only going up 4. So 1/4 of 1. Right, it's going to get really wide. You always go over 1, and then you decide how high you're going up. Yeah, so left 4, if I went right 2 on this one, I want to go left 4 on this one. Yeah. Inside the parentheses, so exactly like this. Use the function we've already done as a model. Please take pictures of you getting it done so we can just see that. You should do the slow, what's that called, freeze frames? It's like time lapse 2 hours.
I have a TikTok. I called them in the middle of the second block. And I was like, all right, let's go through part of the thing.
It has a video on your TikTok. Okay, so did you want me to check?
I need help.
Okay, can I
don't know.
stop you first? This is a quadratic function. All of these need to have the quadratic. But they all look good so far. Is it steeper? And is it flipped upside down? This one was steeper, but it was not flipped upside down. It's very similar. How do you do it? I don't know.
Then I do it again on the side.
What do you mean it's on a dot? Over 1, down 2. Over 2, down 8. So it's twice as steep. All right, we're going to lunch in like a minute, right? Did you guys try it? -5. You don't need to put this as square. The square represents the whole thing. Now, save right here. See how we only write one square for the quadratic function? If you try them or yes, okay. Yeah, they're correct now. We just had to cross out that other square. Okay, so make sure on each one you have the quadratic. So this should be x -5. Yeah, the other one is yes. Up right up the top. Yep. You stopped, but
Don't say that. Don't say that. You're on the highway.
all right, have a good lunch. Go recruit more. I feel like you guys got a sign in blood. What if you go out and they're like,
If that happens, I'll be so pissed.
that's scary.
Okay, here are the answers to, this one just got shifted down 4, so x squared minus 4. This one got shifted to the left. Oh, actually, this is x squared minus 5, I think. This one got shifted left, so x plus 4 squared to go to the left. This one is getting tipped upside down, so negative 2x squared. And this one got shifted right 1 and up 1. So x minus 1 to go to the right and plus 1 to go up.